Namaste, this is Dr. Karishma Ahuja. How do we really get started on this journey of healing our inner child? That is really what I want to talk to you about today. A lot of you have asked me, how do we get started on working with our inner child? Well, it's actually quite simple and easy, but the difficult part really is consistency. If you really want to connect with and heal your inner child, you have to be consistent with a few practices that you are doing. So doing them for a few days and then letting them be and again trying to work is really going to delay the results that you want. Always think of your inner child as a small child who needs your love and attention on a consistent basis. Can you afford to ignore your children for a few days? You refuse to acknowledge them, don't look at what they are up to, and suddenly you come back and say, hey, I'm your mother or I'm your father. So naturally, such a child will grow up with resistance. In the same manner, we need to understand that inner child work is daily work. We have to work with our inner child on a daily basis. Then you will really start to feel the inner child also responding to you, your thoughts, your feelings. So the very first thing is we have to continue to acknowledge our inner child on a daily basis. The second thing is a practice which will go a long way in helping you communicate your own needs with your inner child. And this practice is called self-reflection. This is a very simple practice, but if you do it on a consistent basis, you will really be able to communicate your needs in such a manner that the child will be able to feel the urgency and the importance of letting go of negative thoughts, feelings, memories, beliefs, and patterns. This practice is the practice of self-reflection and should be done every day before you go to bed at night. How do we practice self-reflection? All we have to do is get into a state of relaxation. Try to calm your mind and relax your body. This is very important before we go to bed at night. See, most of us feel that as it is we are sleeping, so let's just hit the bed and go off to sleep. Does lying on bed ensure relaxation? No. Many times you will find yourself turning sides, not getting sleep, being anxious for some reason, or just not being very comfortable enough, not getting good sleep. One of the reasons for that is we have not relaxed the mind and the body before we have tried to sleep. So, first part of self-reflection practice is just sitting quietly in silence, trying to relax, calm the mind and the body. One easy way to do that is to take a very comfortable position. Of course, it's always better to keep your spine erect, but for that you can either sit on a chair or maybe even on your bed. Just ensure you have back support so that you're not uncomfortable in sitting straight and keeping your spine erect. Close your eyes for some time. Try to take a few slow, conscious breaths. You can tell yourself, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. Why is focusing on breath so important and even very important and even very crucial in the inner child work? That's because who's doing the breathing for you? It is your inner child. And so, as you focus on your breath, you actually have already started acknowledging and connecting with your inner child. And so, as we focus on our breath, we feel that there is more relaxation being introduced at the level of the mind and the body. The second thing now that you can do is to simply look back at your day. How did the day go? What kind of words did you use? What are the important tasks that you could finish? How did you do them? How were you feeling most of the time in the day? Now, Please note, this is not a practice to make us feel guilty that we did not do well, or that we did not complete some tasks, or that we did not speak or think well or positive. This is a practice which encourages you to find solutions to your problems. So, as you do a review of your day and an honest review of your day, you become the judge here. You become almost a third person who's observing what behavior was right behavior and what behavior was not good behavior. As you do that, sincerely and honestly, you send very important messages to your subconscious mind that these emotions should not be felt, these emotions we should encourage. So, an honest review of your day becomes a very important step in your inner child work, because if you do not set the platform for why you are cleaning, why we should let go of the past, then your subconscious mind will not feel the urgency and the need to let go of these harmful negative emotions. Imagine if you see your child getting angry on a daily basis, throwing things around, back answering, fighting with others. Do you think as a parent you're going to keep quiet? Or rather, as a parent, should you keep quiet? No. What you are expected to do as a parent is you have to teach your child what right behavior is. You have to correct the child at the right time and ensure that the child never sleeps with negative feelings and thoughts. He is made to find a way to choose which is a better emotion for him and what kind of thoughts he should be thinking. As a parent, if you encourage this, your child automatically will understand, oh yes, anger is not good, or yes, smiling is good. Understanding is good, but back answering is not good. So, like that, if you explain to your child what good behavior is and what good behavior is not, he will also start becoming more responsive and conscious of how he should behave. Then this anger won't build up and become so big that it completely has taken over his personality. Then it will become too difficult. Then you may find that child who is now turned into an adult look back and tell you, this is how I am. Why didn't you tell me then? Why are you telling me now? So, likewise with your inner child. On a daily basis, if you try and review your day, identify how you went wrong and what you could do the next day to make sure the same mistakes are not repeated, that is going to be important in actually convincing your own inner child about choosing the right thoughts and the right emotions. Let's take an example. Supposing you identified you got angry most of the times in the day, and as you were doing your review, immediately you realized that you have lost your temper so many times in the day. Then, this is what you would tell yourself. Oh, so anger is what I was feeling, but this is not what I want to feel. So how do I want to feel most of the times? I want to feel peaceful. I want to be happy. I want to be patient with myself and others. Now, that is what I would want to feel more of the next day. When you do this simple practice of trying to identify what was not right and then reminding yourself that this is what you would like to feel most of the times, you teach your child what is right behavior, what is the right emotion the child should focus on and vibrate with. As a parent, if we do this on a daily basis, our inner child will start to recognize which emotions it has to keep, which emotions it has to do away with. And the beautiful part of this practice is your conscious and subconscious mind are so closely connected and engaged in this practice that you would have already started to develop a good connection. You see, children normally like to be with adults or people who make them feel good. Imagine if you give that kind of feeling to your inner child. You're teaching the child good things, that anger did not feel good today. I was not feeling good, but happiness feels good. So let me feel that tomorrow. If that is what you are teaching your child and conveying to your child on a daily basis, your child will begin to feel the difference in the energies of anger, difference in the energies of happiness, difference in the energies of irritation, difference in the energies of peace and calmness. And that would be a wonderful way to get started to your inner child work and journey. One day at a time, my dear friends. One day at a time. Don't try to want to master everything in a day. And don't try to do too many practices, especially when you're working with your inner child. It's very important to do one practice at a time. Do it for some time. See what kind of a difference it's making. You don't want to have your child learn 10 subjects in one day. Like that, don't do 50 practices. Take few practices, but do them with focus, with concentration, and most importantly, with a lot of love. Whether you're writing few positive statements or you're simply repeating them in your mind, or even if you are doing this review practice, which trust me, you should start doing today itself, do it with love, with patience, nicely, without a hurry. Anything to do with the inner child, if you do in a hurry, you will never be able to feel that connection with your inner child. I hope you enjoyed this video. Lots more coming up on inner child healing. Subscribe to this channel. Click the bell icon to stay updated with all the latest videos, tips and tools. This is Dr. Karishma Ahuja wishing you all the very best. Namaste.